It's an absolute privilege to be here today and to have been involved with the whole judging process of the Hayes Times PA of the Year Awards 2010. The calibre of entries has just been outstanding, and there were more entries this year than there's been in any previous years. So whittling it down to 12 finalists was tough. Then getting it down to the final 6 was even tougher. And we did come to a decision on a winner, and we're very excited about that. And Karen's going to be telling you who that is very shortly. Just a little bit of background. I've spent the last 5 years or so working with PAs, talking to them, coaching them, training, meeting with them all around the world. And I've had the opportunity to meet some of the very best PAs in the world. And I can stand up here today and say with my hand on my heart that the 5 of the PAs here today are without a shadow of a doubt amongst the top PAs, not only in the UK, but the world. You should feel immensely proud of how far you've got to be this far in the competition, regardless whether you win it or not. You should be hugely proud of what you all achieve on a day-to-day basis within your working lives. So please feel very, very proud of yourselves. I had lunch with a friend of mine earlier on this week, and he asked me what I was up to, and I told him I was coming here and doing this. And he happens to be chief executive of a very successful company, and he gave me a bit of a sideways glance, and he didn't say anything, and he was just considering. So I was sitting there feeling a little bit nervous, saying, what's the matter, what's the matter? And he said, and then he told me a story of an experience that he had last week. He's a very tough nut, he's very difficult to impress, and he needed to link in and connect with another high-profile businessman who he had no prior relationship with, so he was starting from cold. And he picked up the phone and he got through to this chap's executive assistant. And he sort of put his hands up and said, look, I don't know who I should be speaking to. And the executive assistant just said, that's okay, talk to me. If I can't help you, I'll find somebody that can. That was the response that he got. And he was telling me about this, and I sort of linking in with what we're doing here today, and he said, that was a good EA. And I do kind of agree with him. And I just had this really vivid image in my mind of this executive assistant sitting there with a huge chessboard in front of her, strategically moving the pieces around of who needs to be where, what, when, with what, and all of that good stuff. And I absolutely agree with him that that is what a good EA is. It's about strategically managing, yes, the business partnership you have with your own boss, but also all of those wider relationships inside the business and outside of the business. And that is what each one of you have displayed throughout the whole competition process. You have demonstrated to us that you are working strategically, that you are making decisions on behalf of your boss, and you've taken a further step in the career of personal assistants. That isn't what the role used to be. Some of us will remember way back to typewriters and sitting there, typing letters, making coffee. It's hard to describe how much the role has changed over the last 20 years. And that evolution process hasn't finished yet. It's still happening, and will continue to. I firmly believe that it isn't chief executives, managing directors that have directed their PAs to change the way they're working. I think it is down to smart, focused, intelligent, educated personal assistants that are pushing the boundaries of what it means to be a PA. And they are actively and proactively taking control and saying, I can be a full business partner with you if you'll allow me to. I can offer you this, 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 and this. Someone else can make the coffee. And that is what you're all doing. Every single one of you is a superb role model to PAs coming into the industry for the first time and for other PAs that are working their way up the career ladder. I really do hope that this experience of getting this far in this competition has been a very positive experience for you, and you'll take it back into your working environments and into the wider PA community, because you are fabulous role models and you should be sharing that knowledge. There were quite a few themes that came out between each of your roles, but there were also a great deal of differences as well. And I think that just went to prove to me that you could never just put a blueprint on the table and say, this is what a PA is. It's so dependent on the dynamics between yourself and your executive's business needs, support needs, the culture within your organisation. And each one of you have got such unique skills. Whoever the winner is, you've all come this far because you are brilliant at your roles. As I say, I've got a lot of experience with working with PAs, and trust me, you really are amongst the best PAs in the world. So I congratulate and applaud each and every one of you. These awards have been designed to celebrate and acknowledge the contribution that PAs make to business. And it's been an absolute pleasure to interview you and be involved with the process of choosing this year's winner.